This is KVUE News Daybreak.
We always ask ourselves, well, should we have known? Could this have been prevented?
The faces of hate, new images of the attackers in London, the message their mayor is sending to residents.
The Austin Police Organization wants APD to reconsider one of its policies. Why they say it's a tad confusing and how they think a change will help fight terrorism.
And is rent affordable in Austin? A lot of you say no, but a viral survey might say yes. This morning we'll verify the claim to see if it's true. Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak at 5 a.m. I'm Brian May.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. It is Tuesday, June 6th. Let's get a look at what we're tracking with Storm Team meteorologist Erica Lopez. Hi there.
Hello, good morning. Well, things are a lot more quiet than yesterday evening. We're taking a look at a rainfall accumulation that we saw yesterday. The biggest storms across central Williamson and also Travis County. Notice the heart of Austin picking up radar indicated over 2.5 inches. Some of those storms are quite impressive. Much more quiet today, and that's going to be the case for the next several days also. We're entering into a quiet weather pattern. Temperatures will remain close to average, like this morning, lower 70s for your start of your day, and then highs will remain in the lower 90s. A little bit toasty, but believe it or not, that's average for this time of the year. And then also we're calling today a partly sunny day. Only chance of rain will be very, very early this morning, mainly because dew points will be close to the temperature, so maybe a little bit of drizzle, but other than that, we're in the clear. Slightly breezy today with the north wind anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour. Very mild and calm tonight. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Ana Vida Reyes is keeping an eye on the roads this morning. How are things looking this Tuesday morning?
Well, a very light commute this morning, Erica. Good morning. This is a live text look at Mopac traveling northbound at Enfield Road. You can see construction is very well underway, so just remember to use caution as you're traveling up northbound on Mopac. No major incidents to report this morning. This is a look at your Austin Metro. Green light for most of the Austin area. So let's go ahead and talk about those drive times this morning. Mopac southbound 45 to downtown, a 15-minute commute, 4 minutes, 2222 to Cesar Chavez. Yvonne, Brian, back to you.
Hannah, thank you. 2 people are safe this morning after a fire ripped through their homes overnight. Broke out at 2:30 this morning on Houston Street near Burnett and Koenig Lane in central Austin. The fire actually jumped from one home to another, also damaging a car in a carport. Thankfully, no one was injured. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Well, happening today, we may soon find out whether Governor Greg Abbott will call a special session. The governor is holding a press conference later today, and as KVUE's Corey Coffin reports, he's been hinting that he will bring the legislature back for another 30 days. Corey, good morning.
Well, good morning to you, Yvonne. Governor Abbott spent yesterday in Belton, where he hinted to voters that he may call a special session to address rising property taxes. According to our partners at the Austin American-Statesman, while addressing the Republican audience, he said, quote, "I think there is one challenge and one problem that many Texans face that wasn't solved, and that is the incredible rise of property taxes in the state," end quote. He also suggested turning the power over to the people by giving them a vote on how much they feel they should pay for their own property. Now, Senate Bill 2 would have required voter approval for hikes of more than 5%, but it didn't make it past the House. Those against SB 2 said it wouldn't have done much to alleviate the problem because it didn't include school districts, which account for much of the property tax burden on owners. Now, Abbott didn't address the so-called bathroom bill or the sunset bill when hinting at a special session yesterday. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has said that the bathroom bill is a top priority for him, while the sunset bill would have had to pass in order for certain government committees to continue operating. If Abbott does call for a special session, it would last for 30 days and cost taxpayers an estimated $800,000. We'll find out in today's press conference at 2:30. Live at the Capitol, I'm Corey Coffin for KVUE News.
Corey, thanks. New information this morning on the London terror attacks from over the weekend. British authorities have now identified 2 of the 3 terrorists. As ABC's Lana Zach reports, authorities already knew one of them and called him a threat.
Authorities have known for years that 27-year-old Karam Butt desired strict Islamic Sharia law in Britain.
Someone had an ISIS-looking flag on them.
Why are you touching him for?
The suspected terrorist was even featured in a British TV documentary called The Jihadis Next Door.
We always ask ourselves, well, should we have known? Could this have been prevented?
British authorities have now named 2 of the 3 suspected terrorists, but a British citizen born in Pakistan and 30-year-old Rashid Radouan of Libyan or Moroccan descent. Both men come from this East End neighborhood in London. On Saturday night, police believe they carried out their murderous intent. Watch as a restaurant manager holds the door against one of the knife-wielding terrorists, saving lives, but others would be lost. Among them, Canadian Chrissy Archibald and Londoner James McMullen.
While our pain will never diminish, it is important for us to all carry on with our lives in direct opposition to those who would try to destroy us.
That sentiment at the core of this nation's spirit and echoed by London's mayor.
As a proud and patriotic British Muslim, I say this: you do not commit these disgusting acts in my name.
British authorities confirmed that Karam Butt was in fact known to them, and a neighbor even called in a tip to an anti-terror hotline about his threats. And now the top counterterrorism official in Britain says that their strategy will radically change. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
All right, Austin's mayor is one of hundreds of local leaders signing an agreement to uphold the policies in the Paris Climate Accord, despite the U.S.'s recent withdrawal. Mayors of 125 of the cities, governors of 9 states, over 900 companies, and dozens of universities signed that agreement on Monday. Mayor Adler says Austin has recently increased the amount of solar energy we use and called for a further emphasis on wind energy and resource recovery. Well, this morning we're learning more about the man authorities say shot and killed his former co-workers at a factory in Florida. This was Monday morning in Orlando. That man killed 5 people before killing himself. John Newman Jr. had been fired from the Orlando company in April. Investigators say he targeted his former managers. Newman had a long criminal history dating back 2 decades, about 20 years. The attack comes days before the 1-year anniversary of the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando.
The Austin Police Association wants APD to change a policy so officers can shoot into moving vehicles while they're on patrol. The president of the Austin Police Association, Ken Cassidy, believes changing this policy will help law enforcement fight terrorism. Right now, APD's policy states that firing into a moving vehicle will only be attempted by units specially trained in and equipped for this tactic. Cassidy says that's usually means SWAT and no patrol officers, but he feels the policy creates big safety concerns. Several patrol officers have approached him about changing the policy, and it looks like APD is on board.
If you have officers second-guessing themselves on what to do on a call, especially a call like a mass casualty call like that, or a call where people are being run over with a vehicle, the officers have to have the confidence and the full backing of the department.
APD sent us a statement saying, quote, there is also a provision in the policy that the department does not restrict an officer's right to use deadly force when the driver of a vehicle uses it as a weapon against the officers or others. Now, Cassidy says Chief Brian Manley will change the policy within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
5:08. If your 4th of July plans include fireworks, prepare to be disappointed. Kyle police are cracking down with their zero tolerance policy on fireworks inside city limits with their new campaign, You Light It, We Write It. Those who set off fireworks will be issued a citation, not a warning. Those tickets can be as much as $500. Kyle has an annual fireworks extravaganza at Plum Creek Golf Course. All Kyle residents are invited to enjoy that show for the 4th of July instead of using their own fireworks.
You light it, we write it. I guess they're talking about the tickets there, huh?
Yes.
New this morning, one of Austin's local ride-sharing services is saying farewell. Overnight Fare announced that they will no longer operate in Austin due to a loss of business. The ride share has been in Austin for about a year now. Uber and Lyft just came back to Austin last week, and many other ride-share companies are now struggling now that they're back. Fare issued a statement saying, quote, we wish you all the best. Thank you for keeping it really weird, too. We enjoyed the opportunity to serve and get to know so many of you. Your business never went unappreciated. We will never forget you, Austin.
Well, strong storms rolled through central Texas Monday afternoon, right around the time people drove home from work. Look here, Brian, right there, right by the windows. This is taken at the W Hotel downtown. The wind and rain whipping at the doors to the hotel. I'm sorry, but if I needed to go out, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to stay another night.
Just push pause for a minute there.
Yeah, right. And the wind even knocked over a billboard on 9th Street and Lamar Boulevard. No word yet on when it will be replaced. So yesterday was very eventful. Things look like they're going to be just calming down a lot, right, Erica, today?
Yeah, for sure. We're entering into a quiet weather pattern as we progress into the next several days. I wanted to point out a time lapse on the storms that rolled through yesterday. It brought in lots of beneficial rain, so I'm going to restart this radar. It's a lapse from yesterday early afternoon. Notice how the showers were on the lighter side throughout the start of the afternoon, and then we just had one large cell by about rush hour time, exactly at 5 p.m. It was very, very messy out there through central Austin. So again, that brought in some beneficial rain. Radar indicated up to 2 inches in some isolated spots, but officially at Camp Mabry, 1.39 inches was the amount of rainfall we picked up there yesterday. Here's how today's going to play out. The next 12 hours, well, all is rather quiet, especially compared to yesterday. Highs in the mid to lower 80s for some, but we're calling today's forecasted high about 92 degrees. Partly sunny and a little bit breezy. Again, this is just the start of the quiet stretch of weather that's headed our way. But with severe weather that's still possible here in central Texas, don't forget to or make sure to stay informed with the KVUE mobile app. We'll have your most recent radar and alerts on there. Also on the KVUE Facebook page, you can stay up to date, and also on Twitter. So a quiet stretch for 1 week, but still stronger storms could be possible throughout the month of June. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much. Well, the State Fair is one of Texas's biggest events of the year, and now we know who will be playing at this fall's festival. Opening the fair, Arlington native Maren Morris. Well, the hot new country star already has a number of hit singles and has racked up several awards, including a Grammy. Another big headliner opening weekend, rapper Flo Rida. Other artists announced La Mafia, Ro James, Wilson Phillips, Charlie Daniels Band for King and Country, and Los Traileros del Norte. I don't know if I'm saying that right. More acts will be announced next month. The fair starts September 29th. Traileros.
There we go. I like how you said Flo Rida.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Because I work with someone who actually goes Florida, and I'm like, it's not Florida, it's Flo Rida.
Even I know that. Wow.
All right. Okay, so a data breach here in Austin that goes back nearly 4 years.
That's right. The local doctor's office making an announcement, and what to do if you've been impacted. Coming up.